Hey everyone, it's Ken here again. In this video, we look at some rounding formula tricks that might help you with your reporting to make things look a little bit better, a little bit easier. Before we dive into this, I just want to let you know that I'm going to demo the entire thing in the Excel spreadsheet grid, but these formulas will work in both Excel, in the data model, and in Power BI because the formulas are virtually identical in those cases. They'll give you the same results. Where they don't work necessarily is Power Query because Power Query has its own rounding methods that sometimes conflict a little bit with what we're used to. But we're not going to cover that for right now. Let's go look at these guys here. I've only got three formulas I'm going to show you, but let's take a look at my actual revenue. The thing that I want you to recognize is I'm displaying 4 decimals because I actually have 3 items in this table, 2 positive, 1 negative, which actually have 4 decimal places. Now, I don't think this is going to shock anybody here, but if I go and type in equals round and we select our first column here and we round it to 2 decimal places and hit enter, it'll automatically complete down the table because I am using an actual official Control T table. And we can see that the values that had our 4 decimals have now been rounded to 0.76 in this case. The 0.2568 becomes 0.26, and our negative number even gets rounded off away from 0 to 0.46 at the end. So that's not shocking. That's normal. But what a lot of people don't know is that you don't have to provide a positive number or 0 for your rounding. I'm going to go and paste the column reference in here, and this time I'm going to round this to -3 places. Normally, we think of rounding as rounding to the number of decimal places, but when you give it a negative number, it actually rounds to the closest integer. So it actually goes the other side of the number line. So -3 allows me to round to the closest 1,000. And this is actually pretty cool. My 8111 becomes 8,000. My 497 is less than 500, so it goes to 0. My -562 is further away from 0 than 500, so it rounds to -1,000. Very, very quick way without compromising the original data to be able to start restating your financial reports in the closest thousands. The last one I want to show you here is one of my personal favorites. This is MROUND, and I'm going to go and show you MROUND right now. We're going to go and use the same number, but I'm going to round to a multiple of 250. This is not number of decimal places. This is an actual value. So when I hit enter, notice 8111 rounds down to 8,000. 6257 rounds down to 6,250. My 497 up to 500. The one thing that's unfortunate is it doesn't work with negative numbers. So if you got to do an M round for negative numbers, we got a trick on how to deal with that as well. Now, this is a little bit of a challenge. You can see that when we're looking inside the data here, I've got this hash num error where we've actually tried to round this -562 to the closest 250 units. You'll notice over here, though, that I do have it working. I've got my -500, but what did I have to do? Well, I had to come in here and I had to take the original actual revenue and I had to take the M round against the absolute version of that. Well, the problem is, of course, that I've flipped the sign. So I then have to go back and check the original actual revenue column again to see if it's less than 0 so I can multiply it by -1 if it is. The big issue, it takes 2 calls to the original data. And that can be a performance hit in larger solutions. So we want to try and avoid that. Now, I want you to recognize here that I have been able to make this work, making 1 call to the data. And it uses the same setup as we use in DAX using the var return. But in this case, I'm using Excel's let function. And what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to compare the results from the MyMRound column here, which are using Excel formulas, to the MyMRound column here, which is using a DAX construct to do this. So here we go. I'm just going to open this up, and you can see that the MyMRound formula, if I were to go and just click in this right here, is a multi-line formula. I've used Alt-Enter on every one of these in order to get those line breaks in. And you can see that we've got our variable being declared. We start with equals let. We declare var value and set it to the actual revenue. We then have a comma at the end of the line. DAX does not do this. We have, in that case, a var statement, declare the name, what's it equal to, no comma before we move to the next one. So the big differences here is in DAX, no comma at the end of the line, we put var in front of every variable line. In Excel, we don't need to do that. But when we get down to the end, you'll notice that the DAX statement includes a return statement. The Excel statement does not. Whatever the last line is, that's what actually gets returned. And I've seen people that have actually written a return variable and then put comma after that calculation and then put in return. That works too. But regardless, you can see that the structure is virtually identical. We're checking the var value, assign it to our actual revenue. In the case of Power Pivot, we're going to sum it first. We run our var round, which runs the ABS calculation. We then run a var sign, which looks at the same information that we pulled from the beginning, checks if it's less than 0, multiplies it by -1 if it is, and then we multiply var round times var sign in order to return our results. Let and the var return constructs are almost identical. The syntax is just a teeny bit different, but they do the same things, allowing you to make one call to your data source and get the value you need.